Hi guys, welcome back to the Tommy Starcraft channel. It's your host Tommy with yet another Starcraft Remastered replaycast from the year 2024. We are once again on the South Korean ladder as we have a great Terran versus Zerg gameplay here. Let's just start by introducing the players to you guys. We are spawning here in the lower right, in the white. It is Shine, a very known and talented Zerg player, and his opponent here spawning in the lower right, in the blue. It is Flash with his AK. I'm not quite sure, but I think that Shine is actually the brother from Flash, but I'm not sure about this information. Anyways, let's just get back to the game to see what exactly the build order is going to be here in between the two pro players, just like we do in the previous replays here onto this channel. We have a 4 spawning location map once again. Shine is already moving out here with his overlord and is already scouting here the map. Flash is also moving very early out with his SCV and actually deciding to place the supply depot here right outside of his base. So no supply next to his base. It might indicate to us that he's actually going for a fast expansion build order here, adding another barracks and another supply depot here into this location. Let's have a look at Shine. He's going for his second overlord. Some drones are still getting produced here for him. Actually 3 more drones. And he's also moving out here with his first drone. It should not be a scouting drone. I believe this is actually straight fast expansion for Shine. So very normal gameplay here for any Zerg, going straight into the fast expansion. No spawning pool, of course, no gas yet for him. I believe he's going to continue with a second drone to scout the map. At this point, at around the 1 minute and 50-second mark, Flash is also doing the same thing. So many pro players really decide to go for this timer, but it's going to actually be a very greedy gameplay here for Flash, going straight into a fast expansion. So of course Shine could punish this. He might cancel his expansion and go straight for spawning pool and gas, but I believe it's going to be a little bit too late. As we see now Shine move here forward, he's going to see the timing here from this expansion. He's going to notice that there is no barracks. Of course Flash tries his best to kill this drone, and there is his barracks outside. So yeah, Shine now pretty much knows what exactly is happening. A very nice greedy gameplay here by Flash, but like I told you, Shine could have punished this, of course, if his spawning pool would have been much faster here, and of course if he would have not went for a fast expansion for himself. So yeah, let's just see how the game is going to continue. Some damage is being taken here by both players. We have the second supply depot for Flash. I believe he is going to very likely go into a bunker very soon to secure his expansion right here, and his SCV is also now moving out here onto the map. There is his gas, so pretty standard stuff, with just a small difference here for the Terran, as he decided to go for a very nice and greedy gameplay here, and very nicely economic gameplay here by Flash, securing his expansion, going for the first Marines, and we see the first reaction here for Shine with a very fast tier 2 upgrade. So this is very likely going to be either Mutalisk, or he might go for a surprise lurker attack. Either could also go for some speed Hydras with Zerglings. Let's see what exactly his options are going to be here into the game. Of course the SCV is very important here for Flash. He needs to stay alive just to see if there's going to be a Spire or anything else. Sees now the macro hatch, so it looks like it's going to be very likely Mutalisk indeed here for the Zerg. Now the overlord's already out on the map, giving good vision, good map control. We see another building here for Flash, and it's actually a factory for him, so he's known to change his tactics from bio into mech versus a middle game Zerg or even a late game Zerg. So let's see if Flash is going to decide to go for this once again versus the Zerg. Some Zerglings have been spawned, but of course the important units will be very likely the Mutalisk here for Shine. And let's just see if Flash is going to be ready for that with an engineering bay, or what exactly his plans are. Perhaps he's going to go for some Goliaths. It could be a possibility, of course, for him, or for some Wraiths with some no, actually going into a triple factory here. So what a interesting build order here by Flash. Let's just see if it's going to work out for him. I believe he's going to transition very soon into mass Goliaths. There's the armory, so it should be, of course, a Goliath's defense first into a push later on with some Marines. We've seen some Terrans really like to go this. I believe they think that Goliath seems to be very, very strong versus the Zerg. But of course, if the Zerg goes for some sunken defensive gameplay, the Goliaths are pretty much useless against that. So the Terran will have to transition into some tanks, as there is Shine's other expansion, one Vulture, to just give vision here for Flash as he's moving out onto the map. And the first Mutalisk are getting produced with the flyer attacks as well. And we do have indeed the Goliath's missile range upgrade happening here for Flash. So it's going to be massive amounts of Goliaths here for him. Very interesting build order here for Flash, as he's even adding some turrets, so quite defensive gameplay. But I believe this is going to turn into a very aggressive gameplay by Flash, as after the 10-minute mark he might try a timing push. So after defending, of course, against the first Mutalisk, those Goliaths would be very, very strong into attacking against the Zerg. So let's just see how this game is going to continue here. More Mutalisk are getting spawned. We even have Burrow now here for the Zerg, as I believe Shine did see the first Goliaths out. And with that, I believe the rush is pretty much fended off very, very nicely here by Flash. Of course, Flash is also known to go for some Valkyries, but this time he decided to go into mass Goliaths and actually even producing more and more of them. Let's see if this is going to be another factory or a starport. Indeed, a very factory here for Flash, as he's adding more and more supply depots, and more Goliaths are also getting spawned by him. 42 workers here for Flash, 33 for Shine. Shine decides to stay back with his Mutalisk, just patrolling the map, just sniping some Vultures here. But of course not deciding to attack, as it would have been very likely suicide. So this is very likely going to mean for him that he has to go for some different units. Still going for some Mutalisk. I believe some Lurkers would be a very interesting idea for him, as the Goliaths are just pretty much patrolling now the map, and they might be even successfully into sniping one Overlord or even two. So we have a very defensive gameplay here by Flash, sending out now his barracks, transitioning to more mech, and let's see if this is going to work out. He's actually going very heavily into those Goliaths with vehicle plating, so he's actually going for some defenses for those Goliaths as well, as he's going to try to push forward very soon, I believe, into the newly established base, or perhaps he's going to choose this base right here. We have a sunken though here, and we actually see some borrowed Zerglings, so this is why you can see those white dots onto the map. I really was thinking those were Overlords, but in the end no. Shine very smartly here, adding some borrowed Zerglings just to see exactly when the movement is going to happen here, as yeah, in comes a push by Flash, as he's going for the Mutalisk, trying to snipe them off, of course. Here, let's see if he's going to be successful with this massive Goliath push. Shine tries, of course, to buy some time. I believe he's going for some Sunkens at home indeed. Sunkens very good for those Goliaths, and it's pretty much mass Goliaths here for Flash. Another Zergling is going to notice this push out, and let's see how he's going to do against two Sunkens. Some Mutalisk are here as well, still patrolling the map. And yeah, in comes the robotic army from Flash, the mech army here from Flash. Two Sunkens are already out. I believe Shine should be okay with those two Sunkens. Let's see if he has some Sunkens here as well. But no such thing here for him. So I believe this is the tactics by Flash, as he's even going to snipe one Overlord here. Of course, the Mutalisks are pretty much useless against so many of those Goliaths here. And yeah, let's see how the game is going to continue. The Mutalisks are actually attacking here, so it's pretty much a suicide attack, if you ask me. A nice kiting back and forth by Flash, as more and more damage is being taken here by both players. And yeah, lots and lots of Mutalisk indeed versus those Goliaths. Nice kiting back and forward here for Flash. More and more damage is being taken. Great game here by both of them, as both of them pretty much punishing each other. So many Mutalisk in the air for Shine, and Flash is still trying to micro those Goliaths, kiting them back and forward. But I believe in the end Shine is going to be the winner of this one. So perhaps Valkyries would have been a much better idea here for Flash, as it's still 5 Mutalisk being left alive. So what exactly is going to happen now for Flash? Is still on so many Goliaths. Is he going to transition perhaps into at least one starport with some Valkyries? It would be a very important decision for him. And yeah, right now I believe he's going to turn into a little bit more of defensive gameplay. He's going to try to secure this expansion right here. We're closing towards the 10-minute mark. Shine in the meantime also taking an expansion right here. Good defenses here by him, no sunkens for him here. And I believe it would have been perhaps much smarter for Flash to go for at least one Valkyrie, or so one starport would have been enough for him to just pretty much obliterate those Mutalisk with Goliaths. And yeah, now he's just going to try to place some mines onto the map, trying to gain some map control. Same can be said here for Shine, who's just patrolling the map with some Mutalisk, and at the same time actually pretty much expanding all over the map, so really wanting to secure this game with a more macro intended game. But in comes Flash with some vultures, and let's see how this game is going to indeed continue, as Flash already at 60 workers versus the 44 from Shine. But yeah, Shine with a much better map control, map awareness, and more hatcheries, like I told you, are getting spawned here for him, as he might try to snipe some of those incoming vultures from Flash. Of course, he is going to be very hard to engage, so many Goliaths onto the ground, and indeed he's trying to attack, but yeah, it's just way too much here. Let's see if the plating should have been done, of course, and we see now weapons 1 also getting done for the Terran for Flash. And yeah, let's have a look at the Zerg. Perhaps some lurkers would have been a good idea here for him. Some vultures trying to snipe some drones here, so Flash now pretty much knows that Shine is pretty much expanding all over the map, and this will force him perhaps to go for a more aggressive move very soon, as he's still going for Goliaths, and there is even one tank here for him. Finally, we do have a science facility, so we might see some science vessels with irradiate. This could be his tactics, of course, to just pretty much irradiate those Mutalisk in the air, and to have massive amounts of splash damage available against them. But of course, like I told you, Valkyries also known for Flash, but I believe he's also trying to experiment perhaps a little bit what the better decision is going to be here versus the Zerg. Mass Goliaths, very good, and now a nice move out here by Shine, but sadly for him, he's very slow onto borrowing those drones, and Flash with a lucky snipe here being able to take out quite some large forces of those drones. Still Shine closing in towards the 60 worker count, as he's going for more Mutalisk for him, and more Hydralisk are getting spawned here. So Hydralisk are pretty good versus the Goliaths, and Lurkers are even better, so we might see a transition very soon here by Shine with Mutalisk and with Lurkers, as he's just pretty much adding base after base, just defending it with some Hydralisk versus the incoming vultures from the opponent. And let's see how this game is going to continue. As you see, it's a little bit of a shorter game, around 20-minute marks, as more is getting produced here. But hold on, we actually have a straight move out here by Flash, just pretty much suiciding those vultures here just to gain the economic advantage. And there's a nice move. We might see a scan very soon happening here for Flash, but no, it's just pretty much mines. So this borrow tactic here, very rarely seen actually from the Zerg, working out really well, saving those drones. Very smart gameplay here by Shine, perhaps an inspiration if you're a Zerg player. And yeah, more Hydralisks are getting spawned. We once again have defense EMP Shockwave, interesting enough, getting done here for Flash. I believe defensive matrix and irradiate would have been, of course, much more needed. He's going for another expansion, and the Goliaths seems to be now just pretty much working out for him, as some tanks have been added here as well. And yeah, there are the Mutalisk in the air, as the Goliaths seems to be working here for, but of course a Valkyrie would have been much more mobile. Let's see how this is going to continue. Flash decides to move out. He's going straight towards the newly established bases here from Shine. Yeah, let's just see if Shine is going to be ready for that. I saw so many Goliaths, a science vessel here as well, some tanks as well, in case there are some Sunkens. There are some Hydralisk here for him. Still no Lurkers for Shine, as he's moving out now with his Mutalisk, sniping one Goliath here, and even sniping the mines onto the ground. At the same time, Flash regrouping now into the middle with lots and lots of those Goliaths. Let's see how the Goliaths do versus the Hydralisk. Already sniping two Hydras. There are some tanks in the back to cover this up. There are some science vessel here as well, and Flash just keeps on pushing here forward on the high ground. There is the Zerg. The tanks are on the low ground. More is getting gathered here for Flash, as his Goliaths are now moving forward, sniping the overlords. There's a vulture here as well. Shine tries, of course, to find a good position, but there's just so much here from Flash being left as he's moving more and more forward. Now Shine tries of course to snipe the incoming reinforcements, but there's just way too much here for Flash, so perhaps Shine did wait a little bit too much, and I believe with that Flash might have done it here. So Hydras are moving forward, getting kited, but the tanks are in the back sieged up, and Shine is not really making any effort here to move forward. He's taking more and more splash damage. At the same time we have a huge move out here for Flash, so it seems that this tactic is actually moving out for him. 2 and 2 upgrades as well, much needed upgrades indeed. And there in come the Goliaths with their IHP 125 versus only 80 of the Hydrisk, and Flash is just moving more and more forward. At the same time Shine tries of course his best to intercept the reinforcements, but yeah, there's still Goliaths here, there's still Science Vessel, and now the main from Shine is pretty much under siege. At the same time we do have tanks moving out here forward against the newly established bases here from Shine. So Flash of course known for his multitasking just pretty much all around the map. We do still have a large amount of Hydrisk here for the Zerg, still no lurkers, so it's pretty much Mutalisk and Hydras versus all of the units here from Flash. And all of a sudden this has turned into a base trade scenario, and let's just see who's going to be the victor, as Flash is pretty much attacking on different fronts, pretty much taking out everything he has from his opponent. The expansion has fallen, this one here as well. The tanks are of course very good versus the Hydrisk, as Shine sadly for him loses more and more bases. He did snap this base right here as he's moving forward, still has a good amount of units, but in the end of course he realizes that Flash just had way too much here for him waiting. And interesting enough, he decided not to go for lurkers, so perhaps a small mistake. Also deciding not to go for Defiler, perhaps a Defiler would have also been a great idea. Perhaps massive amounts of Zerglings, but yeah, lurkers would have been a great idea. Remember how the burrow from the drones really saved so many drones. So if you ask me, lurkers would have been a great idea here versus all of those Goliaths. But in the end, let's not forget that Flash had those science vessels in the air, so the lurkers would have been perhaps also too late. So quite an interesting strategy here for Flash. Mass Goliaths it is with some tanks. Yeah, let's just check the stats really quick just in case you guys are interested. Quite an interesting game. Goliaths pretty good defensive, but at one point I saw Shine into the advantage as he was able to snipe all of the Goliaths from Flash with the Mutalisk. He also took some losses, but he did held really well. But then as the game continued, the macro game from Flash kicked in. He was able to secure the second expansion, and sadly here for Shine, his macro game didn't really kick in. Flash of course with a timing push, with some tanks, with some science vessel in order to secure the victory, and Shine perhaps with some lurkers would have been better off. But yeah, in the end he knew of course exactly what he was doing. So a very interesting game, a very nice game. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Tommy signing out.